What's up, everybody? This is Jake Berkey with Busted Knuckle Off Road. I'm here with Trey's, our lead sales manager, and we want to talk to you guys about our high steer arm kits for the Super Duty Dana 60. So what is a high steer arm kit? So basically, you get a Super Duty axle from the junkyard or whatever, and it doesn't come with any good way to connect off-road steering to the top of the knuckle. It's just got this weird geometry up here, and you've got these other tie rod holes, but we decided that we were going to address that in two different ways. We have a weld-on kit that actually welds all the way to the top of the arm. It's a little bit cheaper, but we've had some people have failures with them because, if you don't do your welding really good and you don't heat treat these things properly whenever you're doing your welding, they're prone to cracking. So this kit right here works extremely well because what we do is we machine the top of the knuckle and we provide an arm and hardware that bolts directly onto the top, giving you a secure location to put your off-road steering.
So we've designed these kits for guys that are running these Super Duty axles, whether it's a custom axle with the Super Duty knuckles or just you're running your junkyard Dana 60 swap in a Jeep JK or buggy, really anything that you're trying to run these axles in. But one of the major downfalls of these axles is there isn't an easy way to hook up high steer, whether you're running your steering box hydro assist or full hydraulic. In the past, the weld-on kits have really been the only thing that's available. We've addressed that by machining the top of these knuckles for a bolt-on high steer arm. That way you can get rid of the little tiny factory tie rods that are really the only thing that's compatible with these things. You can go with big 3/4 inch Heim joints that are never going anywhere.
So what makes our kit really better than the competition is that we have a whole bunch of different options whenever it comes to servicing your knuckles. We obviously put a large keyway right here, and that basically gives you a whole lot stronger connection. These high steer arms are also available in a steel and an aluminum arm, and these things are amazing because you can kind of choose between if you wanted a heavier connection with a steel arm or a lighter connection with the aluminum arm. These two aluminum arms weigh way less than this one steel arm, and a little bit of weight savings can help you if you're in the racing scenario or something like that. And we also provide grade 9 bolts, and those grade 9 bolts right there with that keyway, all those bolts connected on top of this arm, it's simply just not going anywhere, guys. We beat these things, and we do all the R&D on these things. They've been on our personal buggies for a while now, and I promise you that these things are absolutely beef. Guys, we manufacture these things from 1018 cold roll steel, and they're 1 inch thick, and if you get the aluminum version, 70/75, and they're also 1 inch thick.
So these parts are not only designed to be great, we R&D these ourselves in the shop. We have dozens of turnkey buggies that are all running these exact same parts. That's why we're so confident to sell these to you.
And out of all the buggies that we've had running front and rear steer with this package, we have had 0 failures.
So when you call us to purchase these, the list price is $8.99 for the set. Now in that we include return shipping for your core knuckles. That's a $100 value to you guys, and we've got a $75 per knuckle core charge built in as well. So when you get your knuckles, open them up, take everything that you got from us out, put yours back in the individual boxes. Don't put 2 in one box, and put the labels that you get from us on there, ship them back, and you'll get a $150, $75 per, $150 total refund once we get these back. So we've got plenty to sell to other guys. And guys, having plenty of core knuckles here for us to machine helps everybody else get theirs quicker, so that we just have them sitting on the shelf. When you place your order, they go out the next day, and then the next guy gets his quickly as well.
The knuckles that we service are going to be the 05 up Super Duty knuckles. Now, there's a break right around 2009 where you'll see windows start coming in to these knuckles. We service those. And then in 2013, you'll see that the brake caliper spread becomes a little bit different, and we service those. We service them all the way up to current. We haven't found any knuckles so far that we aren't able to do. We also service the F450 550 knuckles, and we also service the Reed Super Duty knuckles. Your package is going to come with 1 or 2 knuckles depending on what you've bought, steel or aluminum arms depending on what you've bought, and then hardware that's going to match. So inside your hardware pack, you're going to find grade 9 bolts. You're also going to find some washers and some lock washers. And the way we want these things put together is your washer close to the head of the bolt, then the lock washer, just like that right there. We suggest using red Loctite on these as well. The arm is going to come right over the top of the knuckle. It's going to seat right here on this keyway, just like that. And then your bolts are going to come down from the top. Once you tighten these down to the point where all the bolts are in there, we want you to actually Loctite these in and torque them to 65 foot-pounds. The bolt size is going to be half 20 that goes inside all of these bolt holes down through here. And then the bolt size for this larger spot where you're going to connect your heim joint is going to be 3/4 of an inch. We get asked this question a lot, basically what the distance is between the center line of where the tie rod's going to bolt up to the center line of where the ball joint is, so people can kind of calculate what their steering angle is. Well, that's going to be 7 inches. And with 7 inches from this point to this point, you can get at least 42 degrees out of your steering with an 8-inch ram. Now, the reason that you get right at 42 degrees is because these steering stops actually start hitting the inner seat at 42 degrees. If you grind those down a little bit more, you can actually go all the way out to 50.
All right, so an engineering point on these knuckles is that the operating point where your steering connects to the knuckles is so much closer to these attachment bolts than it is on the old school kingpin knuckles. You've got a lot less leverage being applied by the steering forces to the bolts here. So it's just a lot stronger in general by the design of the knuckle. We're exploiting that with our designs as well.
So guys, we get this question a lot. People want these knuckles in a double shear design, and the reason is because in so many instances we've seen kingpin knuckles fail. But because of the design of these knuckles, with the bolts being so close to the point where the actual tie rod connects, and the keyway that's put right there, you simply do not need double shear. These knuckles are not your old school kingpin knuckle. You don't need the double shear on these things. You're not going to have a problem with these things. If we can't tear them up, I promise you, you can't tear them up. A couple guys have told me, why don't you just design it for double shear to make everybody happy? Well, there's a bunch of reasons why we don't do that. One, it's simply not needed. Two, if you look at these attachment points, a couple things that you'll notice is that the two of them aren't even close. You've got a bigger pad on this side, a smaller pad on this side in height. You've got a larger pad on this side and a smaller pad on this side in diameter. You can tell that the bolt hole sizes are completely different from side to side. The axis that these come out at compared to the actual top of the knuckle are in different planes. And because of all that, we would have to have 2 different high steer arms from left side to right side, which would make you turn sharper one way than the other. And you would have to have really, really weird high steer arms to cope for those different angles. And when it's all said and done, it's simply just not needed. Well, the 2005 up Super Duty uses ball joints, right? And I thought ball joints sucked.
Right. You heard about ball joint eliminators?
No, tell me about them.
Right. Check out our other video. They are compatible in every way with our high steer arms. Guys, these 2005 Super Duty knuckles and inner Cs have just grown in popularity with us throughout the years. They've proven themselves to be the ultimate beef for the dollar over and over and over. We use them in all of our turnkey builds. The keyed high steer arm is really just the icing on the cake for this package.
Guys, if you're looking for anything that goes with your Super Duty based axle, give us a shout at Busted Knuckle Off Road. Check out our website. We have everything from inner Cs, knuckles, ball joint eliminators, high steer arms for all sorts of different makes and models. Give us a shout, let us hook you up, and I guarantee you it'll add beef to your package.